Does Spotify have pricing power in the market? Can they actually charge a higher price than a lot of their competitors like Apple, like YouTube, like Amazon? That's really the test that the company is going through now as it starts to bundle more products together. You may have noticed that the changes to the Spotify traditional plans, the traditional premium plans now include audiobooks. What that's actually doing is it's starting to change the value that investors are getting from just a single product, music, to multiple things. Now you're getting music, maybe a little bit of audiobooks. Maybe we start bundling in some TV shows. Maybe we start bundling in some premium podcasts. Now you start getting into bundle economics, where it's more valuable for more people to be part of the bundle, despite the fact that different people are going to get value from different pieces of the bundle. And that's the entire point of bundles. That's why cable worked so well. And it's likely that we're moving that direction in the streaming business. The interesting thing for Spotify is the company is actually starting to push their prices higher than competitors. They were actually one of the later ones to raise their prices a year or so ago, but now they're actually going through another price increase, and that price increase actually puts them ahead of companies like Apple Music. So I want to dig into exactly what the recent price changes announced were a couple of days ago here in the US, but this is the kind of thing that we're going to see all around the world. And if Spotify proves that it actually has some pricing power, they can charge $1 or $2 more than a competitor that's offering essentially the same product. That means that they have pricing power that they're going to be able to lean into long term. That means that they're adding incremental value to creators. They're going to maybe be able to squeeze out a little bit better margin. And if they continue to scale the business, they'll be able to offer better and better services while those other competitors fall behind. So I want to dig into some of the trends and what to watch for, because Spotify's stock has actually been hitting a 52-week high recently. Stock is absolutely on fire. And now earnings need to match that in 2024. They've done really well, but we'll see how things go later this year. My name is Travis Hoium. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And thanks to this video sponsor, The Motley Fool. If you go to fool.com/ASYM, they'll give you their top 10 stocks to buy right now. Let's first go to the announcement of some of the recent pricing changes. This is the announcement from June 21st. You can see this is more choice for US subscribers. What this is actually doing is actually making things a little bit more confusing. But let's go through the details here. You can see that premium individual is actually going to go up by $1 per month to $11.99. If you compare that to YouTube Music, $10.99, and Apple Music, also $10.99. So we're starting to get Spotify being a little bit higher price. What they're doing to offset that is they're going to say, hey, you can actually downgrade to basic, which takes out those audiobooks, which takes out the audiobook part of the plan, 15 hours of audiobooks that get included with the premium individual. And then you're going to match those same prices from Apple and from YouTube. The premium duo has not gone up, $16.99, and family plan is $19.99. Those are also going to be higher than you're going to get with YouTube, which actually the family plan is $16.99 up to 5 members in the family. And Apple Music also going to be $16.99 for the family. I believe that's up to 6 users in that family plan potentially. So Spotify's prices now, the standard prices are reasonably higher than competitors, $1 higher for individual. And then depending on what your family looks like, we have a family of 4, so we're going to need to be on this family plan. This is actually what we have right now. And that's $3 more per month than competitors. Now, the advantage for us, the reason that we're on the family plan, is you have Spotify Kids. So there's going to be these little advantages that the company that has that pricing power is going to be able to say, hey, you know what? It's not just about price. It's about the value that we're adding long-term. Audio books are a piece of that value. They also have podcasts, which are not typically included in these, but could potentially be in the future. Maybe you get a few less ads in your podcasts. There's starting to be more videos in podcasts. So there's different ways that Spotify could add value. But right now, it's very clear that they're pushing on price, and there's a really good reason why. Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. My thesis for investing in Spotify has always been predicated on what's known as the smiling curve. And the smiling curve is simply a concept that explains a lot of the way business works on the internet. You get companies that scale, they're able to attract more advertisers, more customers. They're able to build technology than their competitors. And there's this flywheel effect on the positive side that happens at scale. The other side of that is you're able to have a very small business with very low overhead and reach more and more people because of the effects of being able to reach billions of people on the internet. So me doing this video would be an example of being on the left side of the smiling curve. Spotify would be an example of being on the right side of the smiling curve. They're the aggregator or the distributor or the discovery mechanism. That would be the way to think of them. And they are only focused on audio right now. And I think that's really what differentiates them. They're not concentrated on a million other things. Apple has other fish to fry when it comes to what's important in their business, as opposed to making podcasts better or making the music business better. Those are things that they could have spent a lot of money and effort to actually improve, but they haven't done it over the course of decades because it just doesn't matter to their business. It doesn't matter to their bottom line. YouTube, I think, probably has a pretty compelling service, but the YouTube business is really dominated by video. So is music going to be the future for YouTube? Probably not. So it's kind of a distraction for them in a way. That leaves Spotify being in this position where they can really dominate the audio space and make a unique experience. When you get into a car, when you start up your smartphone, when you get a new smartphone, one of the first things you're probably going to set up is Spotify if you have a Spotify account. And there are now hundreds of millions of people who have Spotify accounts, including Spotify premium accounts. So as this flywheel kicks into effect, eventually you get to the point where you have so many more customers than your competitors that you're able to offer a little bit better product, maybe some premium product, maybe or exclusive product. Spotify's tried to do some of that in the past, and you're able to actually generate more revenue per user than your competitors. Think about a company like Facebook, which has many times more users than Snapchat. It also generates more revenue per user. So there's a double whammy there. You have more users and more revenue per user. How in the world is Snapchat ever going to catch up with that when it doesn't have the user base or the monetization of that user base? So that's where this smiling curve just kicks into effect because of the scale you have in the business, how you're able to improve your products. So the way that I'm interpreting this is Spotify really testing out, do we have this kind of pricing power? Are we going to lose customers because we're charging $1 per month more than our competitors? And I don't think they are, because I think Spotify is the one company really focused on this market. But this is going to be the thing that I'm going to be watching over the next 6 to 12 months, because Spotify's done a really good job of lowering their operating costs over the past year. They're now free cash flow positive. I think by the end of 2024, the company could get to close to $1 billion in free cash flow on a quarterly basis. If it does that, then the valuation of the company, about $60 billion valuation, if it's a $4 billion run rate from a free cash flow perspective, and it's still growing users and prices, this is a really attractive business. This is why the stock has done so well in 2024 and even through large parts of 2023. So I love where Spotify is positioning, but these recent price increases are a real test for the company. It's going to answer whether the company has pricing power or not. So we'll get that answer over the next few quarters as these pricing changes are rolled out and people start paying their bills. I know that we are on the family plan. I'm going to keep paying my bill, in part because it has now become an ingrained service for us. And I think that's probably where we are with audio right now. Once you get hooked on one of these platforms, you might as well just stay there. So what do you think about Spotify's recent changes? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.